Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living, and welcome to this new week. I'm kind of excited today. I'm kind of focused. I'm in a zone. I know what I'm doing all this week, and then I think I'm going to go to Pensacola and reward myself after working hard. Working on the t-shirt business night and day now. Well, not that much. I take a lot of slack time in between, but I'm kind of always going. Anyhow, like before I get started, down below I always have the link to the store. Got some real cool vegan gear in there, and I've got a bunch of new designs coming soon, so check that out. That's rawtropicallivinggear.com. Today I want to talk about avoiding bloating on a raw food diet. I get that question quite a bit, so I decided to do a video on it. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I have to go through every day. There's a few channels I've been keeping my eyes on, and for some reason YouTube keeps unsubscribing me from them. So everybody seems to get bloated on this lifestyle. Why? You know, and there's a number of reasons why, and you know, some you can. So most are easily handled by adjusting your diet a little bit. Some people are not as fortunate and they have issues with this, and it gets really tricky and really complicated. So I'm mostly dealing with the people that are not like next level or have some serious health issue that are causing them to bloat. One of the biggest things is just bad food combining. Now, some people, I'm going to say this as full disclosure before I get started. Your digestive system may vary. Some people can get away with more. I can digest a lot. There's things I can eat that you've probably seen in videos and whatever. I can eat, I can combine things. I don't always have to follow, you know, recommended food combining 100%, but you know, I think it's just a matter of how your body is. Some people just have to work at it a little bit harder. Some people have to be a little bit more stringent with what they're eating. But yeah, one of the bad combining I see all the time is combining sweet fruit with fatty foods. Now, once again, I'm not an extremist on this. I do, you know, I put a little bit of tahini in with my mango. I mix a little things in dressing sometime. But once again, I know my limits. And it's something, you know, I don't suffer from bloating all that much. I can get it every once in a while in certain circumstances, but I don't, so I can get away with that. But yes, stop all this combining lots of sweet fruit with lots of fat. I'm just seeing so many abombo combos out there that it just almost makes me get bloated watching what some people are eating. Another one too, and this is just a stray one that I kind of had up at the top of the page, not really in my regular notes, is things like corn. There's some things you'll see, like stick to the simple. If you have any problems on bloating, if you're just coming to this lifestyle, stick to the simple until you kind of figure it out, and don't try to make, you know, just keep the combos as simple as possible and don't even really have to think about it. You know, as I'm eating all these, like I'm pretty much living on mono meals for the last week, and now I'm moving into the second week. I just realized really how the simpler you get, the less things that are combined in your stomach. Now, once again, I'm not saying that it's bad to combine things. You know, very few people are going to live the rest of their life on mono meals. But it just, like I say, it just kind of really points it out to me when I'm eating all these mono meals. Like when you simplify, the less things you're combining, the less thought your stomach has to do. It just moves on through. You know, a lot of times it's just a simple fact you have to be patient. Your colon can be clogged up with a lot of the foods you had in your past diet from the sad lifestyle. I mean, I think of some of the things I ate in my past, and I'm surprised it hasn't taken me until now to get my colon cleared out. Not even just the heavy fat-laden animal products I was eating, but the combinations I was eating those things in. I almost get bloated just thinking about that. In this case, the best recommendation is just to keep eating these high fat, the same way you're coming to now, eating this high fiber food, the fruits, the vegetables, all that fiber, and your colon might take a little while to heal. You know, sometimes it takes a while for the colon to heal. So give yourself some time with that. And like I say, if you're, if you're one of these people that suffers a lot from bloating, the simpler the better. I know some people do elimination diets to see, okay, like when they're dealing with allergies and stuff, they eliminate this, they eliminate this. I'd almost go to the opposite. You might want to just eat, the simplest combinations. Well, if you're just coming to this lifestyle, you're probably not ready to just eat mono meals, nothing but mono meals, but that would be my go-to. Listen, simpler, 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 simpler. Do you hear a pattern here? Everything that I deal with, any condition, anything else, the first thing I'm going to look to is, okay, simplify. Eat the simplest of the simplest. It's like going up that healing pyramid that I'm always talking about. For healthy people that aren't, there's a different protocol. For people that are super healthy, their colon is functioning well, their digestion is functioning well. They can get away. They can eat more things. You might have to be a little bit more, simple, mono meal, simple. At least if you're not doing mono meals, do simple combinations and make sure you're on top of the food combining. Kind of in the same vein as food combining, eat your melons alone. Eat your melons alone. Eat your melons alone, and give plenty of time. I see this a lot of times from people when I was down in Costa Rica, not people that eat like we do, but eating fruit as the dessert, and especially eating watermelon. I've seen so many times my friends, slice up a watermelon and eat a fair amount of watermelon on top of what they've just eaten. That's just a recipe for disaster. And also too, some people, you might have to, eat your portion, eat your melon in smaller portions. In other words, instead of sitting down and wolfing down a whole watermelon or even a half watermelon, depending on the size of it, sometimes too much melon. People talk about getting melon belly, and sometimes they joke about it and they take their photos, but when I look at those photos, that can't be comfortable. When your stomach is distended out to here, I know that's like a funny photo, but that can't be comfortable. So with your melons, figure out how much you can deal with on that. And once again, there's people out there that can eat just as much melon as they want and not have a problem. I've noticed that, oddly enough, I've kind of gone the other way. Like I used to could just eat unlimited amounts of watermelon, and now I have to stop or I'll kind of get that little bit of bloating feeling. Staying hydrated. Staying hydrated is key, because the colon, a lot of times when it's dehydrated or not properly hydrated, it doesn't want to release some of the food in there, and it's hard for things to move on through. And when things are moving slow, when things are stopped, clogged up, that's when that bloating comes. So staying hydrated on this lifestyle is very, very important. Now, I'm not going to get into, there's a debate on everything. There's these next level people that will take everything down to its next level. Now I see all this debate, well, we really don't need to drink water if we're eating fruit. And theoretically, that's right. When I'm in the tropics and I'm eating tons of high water content fruit all the time, I can get away with little water. When I'm eating bananas, no. When I'm not getting a proper amount of like mangoes, papayas, pineapples, you get the picture, like high water content fruits, melons, I got to drink. I've got to drink. So but either way, no debate. Whether you're getting your hydration, you either got to be eating very hydrating fruits, or you got to make sure you're drinking water. And anyway, I doubt very few people are going to totally hydrate themselves through fruit. So drink some water, but stay hydrated, whatever you do. Another one, and this one, some people debate whether we should eat this at all as raw vegans, or raw foodists, whatever you want to call it, or the cruciferous veggies. Now, and because some people are still transitioning, and I don't think too many people that watch my videos are like fully 100% raw, like never eat cooked. So the cruciferous veggies can even be a little bit bloating when you eat them cooked. I notice sometimes I like have a limit. Now don't get me wrong, I can eat broccoli. I eat raw broccoli all the time. I eat raw cauliflower all the time, and I don't have any problem with that. In fact, I used to have what I called the colon broom, where I would just and I got on this kick where I put like a head of broccoli in my food processor almost every day and chopped it up pretty fine, and I'd put that on a salad, and that was really good. I felt like a real good cleanse from that. But some people will get a little bit bloated on that. And if you're still eating cooked food, that's why I did want to mention cooked food. I do remember one time when I was just, like when I eat cooked food, I think you guys know, I eat very light most of the time, unless I'm out of town. And sometimes I'll do just crazy stuff, like I'll steam a head of cabbage and have that, or even sometimes I'll steam a head of cabbage and have cabbage with Brussels sprouts. Well, there have been a few times where I've kind of overdone it and eaten a little more cabbage than I should, and I get a little bit of that belly bloat, whatever. So the cruciferous, especially if you're trying to be fully raw and we're talking in the raw context, yeah, don't necessarily, you might not want to fool with cruciferous, especially if you have any problems with bloating whatsoever. And like I say, I'll just keep going back to it. Just keep those combos simple. If you have bloating, and if you keep them really simple, don't despair. It's not like you're going to necessarily have to eat just plain for the rest of your life. Probably after a while, for most people, of eating these high fiber fruits and vegetables, it'll get you kind of cleaned out. It'll get your system running right, and then you'll be able to eat more things. There's a lot of things I eat that I really wouldn't recommend for, and I was trying to think this morning some recipes I share. Like, not because of the mushrooms, but that mushroom, that's a tougher one to digest because that one's a hearty kind of a stew soup-like dish that I make when I marinate the mushrooms. And then I usually use I'll cut the kernels off of maybe 3 or 4 ears of corn. So I'll have heavier, less water content, like it'll be mushrooms, corn, red peppers, and sometimes that corn just doesn't do it because the corn is a grain. And some people debate whether you should eat corn raw or not, whether you should eat corn, period. I like to eat corn raw, but corn might be another one that you're not necessarily ready to eat raw in the beginning, and you may not be able to, but in the end it goes back to simplicity. Simplicity. Start from the bottom, start from the very beginning. If you're getting bloated, do something like I did. If you don't take a week, take 2 weeks, take 3 or 4 days, take 1 or 2 days, and mono meal something, or just take, say, 2 or 3 different fruits, and just stay on those. If you can't, if you don't want to do one mono meal every day, just eat, stick with this one. Maybe you have 3 fruits during the day, and you just stick to them, and you see how that affects you, and you eat that for a week or so, and then maybe you add something in, and you kind of see how that does. You got to play with this. You've really got to play with your body. I was talking about that. I made a post in a group last night. I just like to dabble and play and see how this will affect. And it's a process. How do you, these little methods to how do you solve a problem you might be having with your body from this new way of eating. And it's not from this new way of eating, and I'm going to finish with that. I hear people all the time, well, I came to this lifestyle and I had to stop. It's not from this way of eating. It's from the way of eating that you did before. Your body's just got to rid itself of all the residue of that 10, 20, 30, 40 years in my case, 40 plus years in my case, of eating things like that. So, you can't eat garbage for 35, 40 years, come to eating this lifestyle, stay on this for a week and say, yeah, it doesn't work for me. The raw food makes me this. The raw food makes me that. No, the raw food is most likely cleaning your body. You're just having some of that, getting detoxing some of that stuff out of your system. And then I can't eat all that fruit messes up my stomach. No, it's not the fruit that messes up your stomach. It's that other stuff that's in there that's mixing with it. So anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.